We're going to start with these bags of shapes. So you should have a bag like this. You might be sharing with a group. You're going to dump them out neatly, and I want you to start with the squares. Okay. So when we look at shapes, we can put these together. We're going to put the 4 squares around a central point. Can you see that dot in the middle there? That point, that's where they all meet. That's the vertex. So I want you to look at these. How many right angles meet together there? You could use this protractor or anything that you have folded like a right angle if you need to measure them out, but you should be able to see there's 1, 2, 3, and then flip it up here, there's 4. Okay, so I want you to think about your turns. So if I put my protractor like this, we know that a right angle, when I turn it like this, it is 90 degrees. There's 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns. Okay, look at yours. You can trace that if you need to. Oops. This is not as easy because I have one hand holding the camera. All right, you can trace it with your fingers if you need to, or you can just see there would be 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns. Okay, so even though this shape is not a circle, we go around. I can make angles and I can make arcs around it to make that circle. It's still 360 degrees. This is a 90-degree turn plus a 90-degree turn. Okay, so I want you to think of our place value. This is 90. I can leave off the 0 for now. Okay, so I made a 90-degree turn, make another one. I'm just leaving off these zeros to make it easier. So 9 plus 9 is 18. And if I put that 0 back on, it'd be 180. So that's 2 turns. My third turn is another 90 degrees, leaving that 0 off. 18 plus 9, if I'm counting by 9s, 9, 18, 27. That's 270-degree turn. And then that fourth turn gives me my fourth 9. 9, 18, 27, 36. That's a 360-degree turn. Okay, now we just put our zeros back on. That one's kind of floating up there, isn't it? All right, so even with other shapes, their angles all will add up to 360 like that when I put them around a central vertex. Okay, so the reason that we're looking at that is because this is going to help you figure out eventually missing angles. All right, so we're going to look more at that. And so I want you to take out your triangles. I'm going to keep going. You can pause the video as you need, as you get them ready. Okay, so when we look at this, just like we counted, I can do 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, and that equaled, this is not the way we normally write it, we were writing it here and counting by them on the side, equals 360. So what you're going to do, you probably already saw that, with the triangles, I want you to put the triangles together around a central point. Make all the points meet, okay? And when you do that, I have to move mine over a little bit. Mine's a little choppy. You get a shape that looks like this. How many sides does that have? 6. So that shape, when I put it all together, is a hexagon. Very good. You can see that all the angles are the same size. And if you weren't able to see that, I'm not going to show you right this second, but you can do it quickly, even if you pause the video. Stack them all up on top of each other, and you can see the angles all meet together. They're all the exact same size. Okay, so how many then do we have? How many shapes do we have? One angle here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have 6 shapes, each one creating its own angle. There's one angle. All right, so if we know that a full circle, we know the measurement of that, and that's not a very good circle. It's kind of oblong. As we turn around that, around the angles, what's the measurement that everything has to add up to? Same as over here, 360 degrees. We know that it's 360 degrees. How many angles do I have? 6. We counted those out. What am I going to do with 360 and 6 in order to determine what one angle is? I'm dividing it up. There's 6 of them, so I'm breaking them up, splitting it up. So 360 divided by 6. Cover up that 0. 36 divided by 6 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. So 36 divided by 6 is 6. And then I put that 0 back on. It's 60. Okay? So I can see that each shape, each triangle right there, all the sides are the same. Each angle is 60 degrees. It does not matter the size of the shape. I could have this shape blown up. I could have it as large as my fingers here. And when I measure it, it'll still be 60 degrees. Okay? To check that, I want you to trace that on a piece of paper. Use your straight angle in order to extend the angle, and then measure it on the vertex and see if you get 60 degrees. So pause and do that. Put my shape back together. Okay? All right. One of the ways that we can write this, we know we have 6 of them. We can do an addition problem, an addition sentence. 6 times, we're going to have to add that. 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 60 plus 60 equals, I'm running out of room there. We know that that equals the 360 right here. That's the addition sentence that I would be making. Okay, so to get started really quickly, I want you, we're going to use the back side in just a minute. I want you to get your problem set, and I want you to write those on there. Okay, with our squares, the total number that fit around one vertex, how many did we have? 4. So put that on there. Okay, so the way that we determine that is it says one interior angle measures. Interior is the inside. Okay, so we're not measuring outside, even though it's the same. This time, we're measuring on the inside. Each of those angles, how many do we have? We put them together, we counted those. There were 4 angles. So we do 36 divided by 4. If you cover up that 0, or 360 divided by 4, if we cover up the 0, it's 36 divided by 4, which is 9. And put that 0 back on, each angle is 90 degrees. Okay? So I found 4 of them. 36 divided by 4 equals 90. That's the same as saying 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90. There's 4 angles. It equals 360 degrees. So I want you to do the triangle. We just did it, but I want you to go ahead and write it down. So pause it and then check with mine. We said there were 6 that go together, just what we did on the desk. 360 divided by 6. That means if I cover up that 0, 36 divided by 6 was 6. Put the 0 back on. Each angle is 60 degrees. Put the degree mark on there. Okay, I'm not going to rewrite this down, but the addition sentence is 6 60s. 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60 equals 360. All right? So, what I want you to do now, I have to move all my things around, sorry. I want you to get out. Sorry, there's lots of things out here. I want you to get out or turn to the other side of your paper. So you should look at this side. I've already extended my angles because I can't do it with just one hand. All right, so move these over. That's going to mess my shape up a little bit. Get out the hexagons. Okay, one thing you can do while you're putting those together, you can see 3 of them fit around a vertex together. We made a hexagon out of the triangles, right? So you can fit your triangles on top of there. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to show you 2 together like this. But you can use all the triangles on top of there and see that that they make that same hexagon. All right? So we're going to come back to that. Look at letter A, number 2, letter A. Okay? We're going to look at this obtuse angle right here, this ABC. I know it's obtuse because they used a square here, and we know that this is what degree? That's 90 degrees. It's a right angle. Write that on there. And then they put a triangle next to it. Now you can do it with your pattern blocks. They won't match what's on the size on there. But you can make it right there. Okay, what was the degree that we said the angle of the triangle was? Is 60 degrees. So this angle right here is 90 degrees, and this one we already knew was 60 degrees. Okay, so if I put them together, what do? Something that goes together, which operation do I do? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. I add, okay? So I can cover up those zeros if I want. I have 9 tens and 6 tens. 9 plus 6 is 15. Put my 1 0 back on because I'm just adding. When we multiply, we use both. When we add, we're just saying this is 9 tens plus 6 tens equals 15 tens. It's 150 degrees. Now, I want you to stop the video, extend your line. Mine almost is too short even. My protractor is too big. So you're going to have to kind of look through your protractor or use a marker and extend your line out onto the desk. And I want you to measure it and prove that that angle is 150 degrees. We added the 2 angles together that we knew. Okay? Looking back at the hexagon, I want you to see this. I'm going to pull mine apart. We said, the angle of a hexagon right here. Okay, there's its straight edge and then up like this. So is this, if I set this here, is this angle here obtuse? Is it more than 90 degrees or acute? A cute little baby angle that's less than 90. It's obtuse, it's more. So I want to measure it using my blocks, okay? I already know this angle is 60 degrees. I'm going to put that there. Now, I need another triangle to finish the angle here. That one's 60 degrees. Remove that marker, sorry. What size angle is this one? 60 degrees. So if I put it together here, 60 degrees plus 60 degrees is what? 60 plus 60, or 6 plus 6, and add that 0 back on. 6 plus 6 is 12. Add my 0 back on. It's 120. The angle here is 120 degrees. If you need to stop the video and prove that, then extend those angles, use your protractor, and measure to see that's 120 degrees. All right? So I want you to write that right here in the margin. They have a hexagon here. Okay? So we know that this angle here is what? What did we just measure? It fit two triangles in there. It's 120 degrees. Okay, so if you need to write any notes about that, you can put it over here. This is the margin, the side. All right, what shape do you see next to it? Sorry, it doesn't look very clear to me. I don't know if that'll make it any clearer or not. But it's 120 degrees right here. Don't worry if you can't see it. You can hear me and you can write. What shape do you see right next to it? Another triangle. What is this? What measurement is this angle? This would be whatever letter we would want to say here. Let's say this is point A. I guess, yeah, we can call it A. AED. What angle would that be? That means we're not looking at this one. There's your triangle, and it's 60 degrees. How are we going to find what this measurement is? We're going to add them together. 120 plus 60 is what? 180 degrees. Okay, before we talk about that one, go ahead and fill in over here. I'm just writing my notes over here. If you look up over here, well, we'll do this one, and then we'll go back to the one we missed. The angle measures 180 degrees. And what's your addition sentence? You had to put those together. 120 plus 60 equals 180. Okay, do the one up top here. What's this measurement? 150 degrees. And what did you add together? 90 plus 60. That equaled 150 degrees. Now I want you to look back here. This is 180 degrees. What do you know that's 180 degrees? I don't like that that's getting blurry. Sorry, I don't really have a way to fix it, so just listen and follow. I know up here, my protractor goes from 0 to 180. That's a straight line. When you put the hexagon and the triangle together, you create an angle that is 180 degrees. It's a straight line. Very good. All right. We're going to come back to this one. This one, letter C, and then on number 3, letter B, we're going to do at the end. Okay? Those ones get a little bit harder. So we're going to do those ones at the same time. I'm going to show you something. All right? So let's flip it back over to the other side. I want you to fill the hexagon in. We put them back together. We put 3 of them together. Okay? So you know what size that will be. All together, these angles have to add up to, just like our circle, 360 degrees. Divide that by how many we had to put together. 3. We know what measurement we already got because we used these triangles. But if I had to do it this way, I could do 360 divided by 3. If you don't know that, then you can quickly, I'll show you 2 different ways. You can quickly do it. I'm going to use this margin. 360 divided by 3. Okay? You can do long division this way. Or I can look and say, hey, I know 3 goes into 3. 3 goes into 6. So if I have 3 hundreds divided by 3, 3 divided by 3 is 100. And I have 6 tens. 6 divided by 3, 6 tens divided by 3 is 2, and then I put that 0 back on. I know it was 120 degrees. That's what my measurement was. Okay? And to add it up, I have 3 120s because that's what my angles are. There's 120, 120, and another 120. I put them together. There's 3 angles. 1, 2, 3. I can separate them to kind of see that. 1 angle of 120, 2 angles of 120, 3 angles of 120. So when I put them together, they equal what? 360. Good. Okay, we're going to use the blue ones now. What we're going to do is we're going to finish on the front there. We're going to kind of work on it together. I want you to pause as you need. I moved this over so it messed mine up. If you look at this, though, I'm going to show you. I use this as my right angle. So if I get a straight edge on here, if you don't get this, just turn your shape around, okay? Here's my right angle. Well, since I can't see their angle, I know that it is acute. Right? I can see this orange is a right angle. So this angle right here is acute. It's smaller. It's less than 90. Okay? That's the side we're going to use and put them together. I can also see if I flip it this way. Here's my right angle. That it also has what kind of angle? It's more than 90. So it's obtuse. We're going to do those ones also. Okay, but I want you to put yours together. Use the acute side. Make them fit together just like this. Okay, so how many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so they used, we can use 6 angles. 1 angle, 2 angles. Remember that in order to have an angle, I have to have 2 rays or line segments or lines that meet at one common vertex. So don't get confused. This is just one angle, okay? So 1, 2, 3 angles, 4 angles, 5 angles, 6 angles, all right? So do that on your paper here. How many angles, when we're looking at the acute, go together, meet together in order to around the central vertex? Okay. There's 6. What measurement do they all have to add up to? Just like a circle, all the angles add together to make 360. Divide it by how many angles we have. We have 6 angles. Cover up that 0. 36 divided by 6, same as up in the triangles, is 6. Put that 0 back on it, 60 degrees. That's what our angle has to be. And then your addition sentence will be repeated addition. 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60 equals 360. Good. All right, pause as you need to as you're going. I want you to try it with the obtuse angle. This one was a little bit harder for me. I actually had to have my son do it last night, and now it's the morning time, and I had to move the shapes from my house to here. So I put them in a shape, put them together, and for the life of me, I cannot remember if it's the exact shape he had. All right, so I'm not going to show you mine quite yet. I want you to try only using the obtuse. All right, I'll give you a clue. You have 6 of them, but you're not going to use all of them. You can only use the obtuse sides, and they have to meet. All right, I'm going to give you a second because I want to just see something. Yeah, okay. I think I have it the way he had it. Okay, check yours and see. Did you make yours similar to this? Okay, now you should be using 3 to put together. If you put more together, what I want you to check and see is, are you sure that you're only meeting up the obtuse angles? Okay, so I have my obtuse angle right here. Goes more than the 90 degrees. If I need to check it, I can put the square on top of it and see that it sticks out. And right here. And then I'm using this obtuse angle. Okay? So as I think about it, I seriously think he probably had a little bit different of a shape, but I could be wrong. I know that 3 of them have to go together. And the way I checked that was saying, here's my obtuse angle again. Well, if I say it can fit, I've got to fit it that way And then this one is my obtuse. It doesn't fit in there. Okay, if I start saying, yes, it does, and I move another one, well, then I'm back to my first shape, which is the 6 acute angles. So I'm back here to my 3 obtuse angles. Okay, we can keep playing with that. Play with it as much as you need to in order to figure that out. So how many obtuse angles can meet together? 3. All the angles together must equal 360. I'm going to divide that by 3. We've already done that math before. 36 divided by 3 is 12. Put that 0 on. So I know that they're each 120 degrees. So my addition sentence, oops, I don't need to put the degree there for the addition. 120 plus 120 plus 120 equals 360. All right? I want you to do the acute angle. Okay, I'm just going to write it down really quickly. So pause the video. These smaller acute angles, I want you to put together and see how many go together, and then do the addition, or do the division and then the addition sentence. So push pause and then check mine. Okay. 12 of them meet together, makes a big sunburst or starburst, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so there's 12. We know it's 360 degrees divided by those 12. Now look up here. 360 divided by 3 equals 120. Okay? Take those zeros off. I can't take both off at the same time. You can, though. 36 divided by 3 equals 12. So 36 divided by 12 equals 3. 360, cover up that 0, divided by 12. So 36 divided by 12 is 3. Put that 0 back on. They each equal 30. So you're going to write an addition sentence here. I'm not going to write it down right now, but you are. You need 12 30s. So write small, 30 plus 30 plus 30, 12 times equals 360. All right? And we're going to look on the back side. Make sure you're pausing as much as you need to. Okay? All right. So what I want you to do, remember we're going to skip C and B until the end. I want you to use a pattern block on letter A to measure the angle. So pause the video and do that. Okay. This pattern block right here can fit right in here. And I already know this angle. The angle of my triangle is what measure? It's 60 degrees. Okay? So there's 60 degrees right here. And then it says an addition sentence. Well, I know half of this going right here is going to be 30 plus the other half going this way is 30. That got us our 60 degrees. All right? I want you to do that on the bottom. Now, do it on letter C. What can you put together? You can also measure it with your protractor if you need to. I always flip it so I have a straight side. I want to see if my square fits in there. I want to show you something. You may have done this on this top one. I just did 60. You could have used these small little ones too. Sorry, I should have shown you that. That gives us 30 plus 30. Okay? If you just use the triangle, it's 60 degrees. I just knew 30 plus 30 is 60, but that one makes the same angle, okay, of 60 degrees. All right? So what are we going to do with this bottom one? We have our square. I know. I line it up here. What measurement is that? 90 degrees. Write that down. Plus, what other shape is going to fit here? this little one in here. And what degree do we, or what measurement is that angle? 30 degrees. What does that equal? 9, 10, 11, 12. 120 degrees. So what's our angle measurement? 120 degrees. Yep, put that degree on there. Good. All right, let's do letter C up top here. All right. So I want you to see what you know you have. Okay. So this is what I'm going to show you. Is you, with both of these, C and B, you have an angle right here. So if you turned your paper upside down, you would say, oh, that's where I measure, right here. Okay? That's where we're used to measuring. But they're showing us both on letter C in number 2 and letter B here. They're showing us this outer angle, this outside angle. Okay? So, I'm going to show you 2 different ways, okay? So what you have to notice when they're showing you this outside angle is that if I made this other angle, or this arc here, that makes a what? What shape? A circle. And I know that a circle measures how many degrees? 360. So we're going to do it 2 ways. I want you to flip it over. I want you to extend your angle, and I want you to measure that. Pause the video if you need to. I wish I could, so I could use my other hand. I need my other hand. But measure it and write down what you have. I see what I have. You can't quite see on mine. Just measure what you have. Remember that when you're doing this, like look, this is a right angle right here. This is more than that, right? So if I measure it, these numbers are less than 90. So I have to subtract that from what my line is, 180. I'm writing it down, but I'll come back to show you. Okay? I'm not going to show you quite yet. All right? Put a block over it so you can't see it. All right. Now, write that measurement down. Whatever you put, whatever you measured, and subtract it from 180, put it right here. Okay? Oop. Hope you didn't see mine. All right. So now we're going to measure what we know right here. What angle is this?